Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. Now that I got your attention, check this out. Yeah, we're gonna be building some crazy shit today, and I'm gonna teach you how to do all of it. A bit over a year ago, I put out the first Japanese builds video, and it became one of the most popular ones on my channel. So it is about time we got around to making a sequel. And we're going all out. This build is gonna be bigger and better than before. I'm super excited, and you're gonna love it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy 7 more quick tips for Japanese builds in Minecraft. A great way to get started with your own East Asian fantasy build is to really narrow down what kind of thing you want to make. There's something I've noticed about builders that I don't really see people talking about very much. A lot of the time when people think about a certain building style, there's a few iconic designs or ideas that most people gravitate to. And there's so many examples, right? Like steampunk airships, medieval castles and towers, modern a sleek luxury house. As for Japanese builds, well, it's a pretty common trope in Minecraft building, so we've got plenty of typical builds here too. Shrines, pagodas, and Zen gardens are all super common. But let me just make one thing clear. Just because your idea is typical doesn't make it bad. It can actually be a good thing. If you're looking to make a Japanese temple or a Zen garden, there's thousands of other creations you can find online for some inspo, plus plenty of real-life examples. If you were to try and find pictures of, say, a Japanese airship, you might have a harder time. But don't let these common tropey ideas hold you back. Castles, fortresses, natural landscapes, mountain scenes, etc. all have big East Asian fantasy vibes. There's a lot you can do that hasn't been done before, especially with all these new blocks that weren't even in the game when I made my first video. Let's go check them out. I mean, it goes without saying, but cherry trees. That's it, that's the whole tip. As of me recording this, Minecraft 20 is still very new, and I wasn't gonna make a video on Japanese builds and not talk about them, let's be real here. Sakura cherry trees are a staple of Japanese culture, and that carries over to Minecraft as well. In my last video, I made this kinda okay tree. I was semi-proud of it for the time, but looking back on it, I don't know what I was doing with these wacky ass proportions. Pink glass and spore blossoms? I don't know about that one. I want to use our brand new cherry wood and all these new blocks to make a new, better, and a bigger cherry tree that's going to be the backdrop to our Japanese fantasy mega build. Cherry trees are beautiful, but they're not a full build on their own. I mean, of course I was going to spend some time showing off the fabulous new cherry wood, but let's not neglect everything else that was added recently. I'm mainly talking about the other 2 new wood types, mangrove and bamboo, which are also super helpful. Now that our backdrop is done, we're gonna get into the next phase of our mega project, the center of attention, the main focus, which is gonna be a couple pagoda style temples. Now I know I've already made a couple very similar buildings in my first video, but we're gonna take things to the next level. Mangrove and bamboo wood are going to be instrumental in making bigger, better, and more vibrant temples than we've ever done before. Let me show you what I mean. As you can see, we've massively expanded the size of our build with 2 mega temples, and it's looking fantastic. We're still missing a couple details, but we'll get around to that in a future tip, so stay tuned if you want to see the finished product. For now, I want to move on to the surrounding landscape. Let's turn this regular old biome into beautiful artistic Zen gardens and terraces. Integrate greenery and nature into your spaces as much as you can. Whether that's custom trees or more subtle bits of foliage, natural elements are such an important part of basically every Minecraft build, and East Asian Fantasy is no exception. I mean, there's just so much to work with. We could do zen gardens, koi ponds, terraced landscapes, winding streams, peaceful waterfalls. The possibilities are endless. In the past 2 tips, we've been hard at work at this Japanese-inspired mega build, and I'm not gonna stop. We're gonna surround this whole place with greenery, and it's gonna be amazing. As you can see, we've added pathways, bridges, a whole stream, koi ponds, and more. The transformation of this biome has been incredible, but we're still not done yet. Everything is coming along super well, but it's still missing details. Let's get to work and finish off this project. Sometimes all you need is a couple key motifs or details to really tie a build together. I want to take some time to highlight some tiny little bits of detail, these neat decor pieces for both exteriors and interiors that are super easy to forget about, but if you add them, you'll be bringing in some really nice flair to your builds. It's probably best if I just list them off. We've got a wide range of build complexity here, but hopefully some of these resonate with you. We got horned and curved roofs, torii gates, dragon and serpentine motifs, arched bridges, floating lanterns, blades and swords, the yin and yang, Buddha statues. All of these are going to be fantastic additions to any East Asian inspired build. And for this project, I'm going all out. Let's throw in a big Buddha statue right in the center, some underwater greenery and fish into our koi pond, a yin and yang, some detail to our pagoda roofs, and now our build feels a lot more complete. If you want to make builds like this on your own, I highly recommend sticking around for the next tip. A lot of my ideas and design principles that I used here actually came from a really fantastic comment I received a while ago. Take some time to study the shapes and proportions of real Japanese buildings. Alright, so first of all, I gotta give credit to VtinMusic. They left this amazingly insightful comment a while back, and if you got your own tips you want to share, please do leave a comment. I would love to read them. I've combined VtinMusic's advice with some of my own to make a series of really great pointers for making Japanese builds. Generally speaking, you're going to have an easier time making curves if your build is larger, especially for roofs and other sections where we have these funny wave-like shapes. If you're struggling to bring these out in your own project, it just might be because what you're building is too small. Japanese walls are often made of paper. You could use bone blocks or smooth quartz or maybe even mushroom stems, or if you want something even easier to get, you could use stripped birch wood. I recommend dark oak doors or birch doors, depending on if the building is more imperial or more of like a town or village. Bamboo and birch trapdoors work very well for more detail on paper walls. More village-like builds often have a terrace around the house. More castle-like builds often have a large stone foundation, usually being larger at the base than at the top of the foundation. Look at real life and Minecraft references from different creators and see what works for you. Once again, thank you VtinMusic for the amazing tips. There's a lot more to East Asian inspired fantasy than just like Zen medieval stuff. Sure, the style is what's popular, it's, you know, the aesthetic choice, but let's just put aside all of that for a moment. We can go crazy, we can be far out, we have free will, and we can make our own choices. And most importantly, we've been totally neglecting all the other kinds of East Asian fantasy styles out there. Like there's a whole look to, you know, contemporary Asian cities, and don't even get me started on cyberpunk and the incredible stuff you can do with Asian-inspired sci-fi. Of course, this is a totally different vibe than what we've already been talking about, so it wouldn't really fit in this video. I've already made a video on cyberpunk builds if you'd like to check it out, but maybe it's time for another one. Let me know. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. You've just done a lot to help out a smaller channel, and I appreciate that a lot. If you've got any ideas for future 7 Quick Tips videos, drop them down in the comments. If I use your idea, I'll be sure to credit you in the video. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next 7 Quick Tips video.